So working out with people is sometimes more fun. Good morning. It is early. I feel like I'm only functioning at half capacity right now because I'm not usually working out this early, but a friend asked me to work out with her and take a class, and I have not worked out with people in a little bit. So I decided I'm going to get up early and go to class and hopefully function. So let's see how this goes. So this is a class warm-up today. So the coach, his name is Corey. He sort of moved us through this warm-up and did a lot of stuff with the hip band, which is personally one of my favorite ways to warm up anyway. So I was very much enjoying getting to do things that my body is used to doing prior to lifting, because lifting is something I don't really mind doing alone, and I sort of like my routine when it comes to lifting. So getting to do a lot of similar things to what I do was good. Then we did some PVC work where we paused at some positions, something I don't do as often. I think that also helped with the snatching. And then we did some muscle snatches. And muscle snatches, they're not really something that I'm ever looking to max out. So it's more of a primer movement for the actual snatch, working on getting those elbows to turn over quickly and not really looking to max out. But before I do lift heavy, I like to engage things. Just saw me tap my lats and then I just tapped my core. It's just sort of to wake things up so that they're ready to be used during the lift. And I will almost always touch my core, especially before I start lifting, just to get all of that engaged. This snatch right here, 125, was my heavy for the day. This is basically 95% of my max. So I was pretty happy to hit that. There was a little pause at the bottom just to make sure the weight was in the right place, but I was happy with how that looked. Then we got into some tall cleans. So as you can see, this is a lot of lifting and a lot of squatting. Luckily, after these tall cleans, we had to take a little break from the squatting because we were doing some hang power cleans. And if you saw one of my previous videos, we were working on hang cleans as well. They were supposed to be powers and I messed it up and I did squats. This time I read correctly. Reading and comprehension, worked on that skill too before this session and realized I was supposed to power it and not squat it. So powering these hang cleans and felt pretty good. Then we just had a couple heavy back squats, just singles, before we ended up moving on to the Metcon. I started this workout and realized I didn't know the specifications of it. So I started with a push jerk and then was like, maybe it's push presses, and finished this round with push presses. When I get on the rower, I asked the person next to me, I'm like, hey, is there a specific way we have to do the shouldered overhead? Is it push jerk, push press? Turns out it was just shouldered overhead. So push jerk, probably your most efficient way of doing it. I did one push jerk followed by 7 push presses. That is the last time I did that. From then on, it is all push jerks because shoulder overhead gives you all the options. So now that I just got that out of the way, let me put the Metcon up on the screen so you can see what it is while I'm on the rower. It is complete as many rounds as possible in 7 minutes of 7 shoulder to overhead, 20 calorie row for the women, 30 calorie row for the men. The weights for the women, 105, weights for the men, 155. This is our RX Plus or competitors workout for this day, but the class workout was almost the same. The only difference was the weight on the barbell went down to 95 for women and 135 for men. So this is one of those workouts that we sort of all did, and I was really excited to be with this group of people doing this workout. And there are people in this group doing it different ways. A couple people are doing the RX Plus with a heavier weight, but a bunch of people are also just doing the regular RX as prescribed workout for the general population classes at my gym. So it's always cool when we're all doing the same thing and get to work out together. And I was really excited to be pushed by the group because I would not have went this hard. I was looking at my friend next to me and trying to keep up with her on that row and not lose my lead. And as you can see, push jerks all the way now, because why would I do push press? Just move faster with the jerks here. And push jerk versus the push press, you just dip once and have to get the weight all the way overhead. Push jerk, you get to do a double dip. So you dip once to get off your shoulders and then one more time to get under it. So that is what I got to do for the next rounds of the workout. So 7 minutes, that's the only pretty short workout compared to some workouts we do in CrossFit. And for me, intensity was high. Now, if that barbell is a weight that you're gonna have to break up, it's gonna feel like a different workout than what I did here. And if you wanna keep the intensity high, like I'm doing, then I would recommend picking a weight that you can go 7 unbroken. I don't know if I thought I was gonna go 7 unbroken when I started it, but realized as soon as I started it that that was necessary in the goal to get close to 4 rounds, or through 3 and into that 4th round. So unbroken is what your goal weight is, whatever you choose. But you do want it to be heavy. You want to have to think about the fact that you are lifting this barbell. It's not meant to be lightweight. So when I say lightweight in CrossFit, that's usually like 65 for women, 95 for men. That's not what we're doing here. You want it to be something that you're going to have to brace and think about it a little bit, but be able to continue to cycle that barbell. And then for this row, you do have to keep on it. That's why I was looking at my friend's rower too, to see if I can, not necessarily pace, but push more, because she's pushing. Back onto those jerks, like I said, unbroken, push jerk, get under that bar and quickly get those reps done. You want to pick it up right away too. You don't want it to be a bar that you're going to look at. You just want to be able to yank that thing up and knock out those reps. And split jerk is definitely not something I think you'd want to use for this workout. It's just too slow. So back to the rower, you can see pulling hard on this. This is me finishing up the 3rd round of this workout and just trying to get as many calories as I could before the person I was trying to pace off of next to me got on the rower, just to stay ahead. She is a little bit of a stronger rower than I am, but it was just a matter of me trying to transition a little bit faster and just be as efficient as I could to get the workout done as smoothly as possible and accumulate the most reps as possible, because that's one of the goals in CrossFit. It's intensity, and part of what helps you get that intensity is by doing as much as you can and pushing your capacity. So here I am pushing my capacity, keeping on this row, keeping the cadence high, because it's easy to see a 20 and 30 calorie row and think you could sort of settle in a little bit. 7 minutes, it's not a long workout, so you don't want to be settling in. You want to be pushing the pace the whole time, because there's not a lot of time to really fall off. It's not a 20-minute workout where you're going to hit a wall. 7 minutes is fairly fast, so you just got to keep moving, pushing hard. And here I am back on the barbell for these shoulder to overhead, and I picked it up immediately. Got up right off the rower and right to the barbell. There's not much wasted time there. Transitions are really important in CrossFit, and if you are competitive, I like to be a little bit competitive. I feel like it pushes me to be better. If you're competitive, transitioning quickly is one of the things that's going to really make a big difference. If you saw there, I sat down, I was just like inches from my barbell, got my feet in, pulled them both taut at the same time so that I can just get right back on that rower, not messing with anything, not messing with those straps, it just being really smooth. Smooth is fast. So that is what I focused on. And I think I was getting to the point where I realized, man, I could possibly get close to getting these 20 calories. So I started yanking a little bit harder. This is where I often call this a kick, right? At the end of the workout, if you have a little extra energy, it's time to send it. It's time to hit that final leg and just kick it into high gear. Because once you're finished with this last minute, less than a minute, you're done. I'm done for the day. I had a little bit of accessory work after this, which I didn't record, just some core stuff. But this is really the high intensity, the end of your high intensity point of the day. Everything else is fairly easy after this. It's just, going to work and doing your job. So just finished up and I fall off the rower. I didn't get off the rower before the time expired, but I did finish the calories. And I'll show you that in a second here. But this is the cool part of working out with friends. Get some fist bumps at the end, high fives, very CrossFit-esque. Kind of lost that a little bit in the pandemic, but bringing it back here, which is cool to see, the high fives and the supporting each other. Here is my rower. You can see 81 calories, 20 calories around. That is 4 rounds plus some rollover at the end there. So 4 rounds even. I was pretty stoked about that. I didn't think I would get quite that far looking at some of the regular class scores because a lot of people, didn't get to 4. So I was happy with that. So working out with people is sometimes more fun. I actually don't mind lifting alone when I have to do that. That's what I usually do. I usually end up working out alone because today I had to wake up like 2 hours earlier than I usually would. I tried to get to bed earlier too last night, but I had to wake up much earlier to work out with this group of people. So I don't usually do this, but I do think it helped my Metcon. My lifting, it might have helped a little bit too, but I don't mind lifting alone. I can do that. It's not that I mind Metconning alone. It's just really hard to get the same stimulus without someone right next to you. Like, I was saying to the person I worked out next to afterwards, I'm like, you rowed so fast. Like, I try to keep up with your row. And she's like, I would try to keep up with your row. So, like, you just don't even know, but you're, like, pushing each other. And that's the great thing about having training partners and people to work out with. I just don't usually have that. So, after today and this experiment that I took you along with, I think I might try to get here more often, wake up earlier, try to get to bed earlier if I can, depending on what time I get off of work, so that I could try to get here and work out with other people, because I think it does make a really, really big difference. If you're not working out with people and you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut, I didn't really feel that at this point yet, but some days it was harder than others. But if you're ever feeling like, I need something extra today, working out with other people makes a big difference. Definitely something extra humans. Anyway, I appreciate you all for hanging out and watching this with me and hanging out with me and working out with me. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And I ripped my hand a teeny bit on a barbell. Who would have thought? All right, bye.